emotions.
I talk to my dog like
Yeah.
he's a human.
Yeah, so it probably
Me
really
too.
appeals on that level.
Hi, this is Alyssa with Who Let Us Out. I'm really excited to be here for today. I was born in Leeds, England. I have not gone back to the UK in 10 years.
Oh, okay.
And I grew up watching this. So this is like a huge thing for me. And I really love that you guys included like pop culture British moments like Anton Deck. That was just so hilarious to me in the show. Like I
I,
love those little pieces. But just to see like how timeless Wallace and Gromit is, to so many generations, why do you think it's so appealing?
oh, always a big question, that isn't it?
I think
It's
that's one
hard,
for you.
and it's hard to say being so close to it as well because it just comes out of somewhere. I don't know where, but I think it's partly we're a world of pet lovers, particularly dog lovers, and everyone reads into their dogs, thoughts, human emotions, and wants to think that their animals have these human emotions.
I talk to my dog like
Yeah,
he's a human.
yeah. So it probably
Me
really
too.
appeals on that level. Plus, I think people can really relate to the clay animation, the thumbprints in it, and you can see the artist behind every frame.
Mm.
I think that's our USP, and it shines that love of the that the love that's gone into the animation comes off the screen, and the charm.
Yeah.
Hard for us to say. I think that's what people say.
It's like moving to America and see how people over here love it too. It just shows that it's like, so timeless. And now I do have to touch on Feathers McGraw because the last time like I remember seeing him was in The Wrong Trousers. He did make an appearance in Chicken Run, which I'm also obsessed with. But I kind of want to talk about the inception of Feathers McGraw. Like he's notorious, and I think like he's one of like the most notorious villains in, movie TV history. It's like moving to America and see how people over here love it too. It just shows that it's like, so timeless. And now I do have to touch on Feathers McGraw because the last time like I remember seeing him was in The Wrong Trousers. He did make an appearance in Chicken Run, which I'm also obsessed with. But I kind of want to talk about the inception of Feathers McGraw. Like he's notorious, and I think like he's one of like the most notorious villains in, movie TV history because he's silent.
Brilliant. Yeah, I think how.
And a penguin.
Yeah, and the penguin, and I think that was partly the initial idea was that how creating a villain that's how unlikely is it that a penguin would be a villain, because I'd never seen that before in the film,
Well,
except
it's
Batman.
ridiculous, quite frankly.
Yeah, it is. Actually, I was forgetting Batman actually as well. Grew up with Batman in the 60s, but that's a different penguin really. This is an actual penguin. But yeah, it came from, things start with doodles, and all the characters start with just doodles on the page and ideas, and it just went from there, and the whole thing started with a whole load of penguins coming to stay at Wallace and Gromit's house in the early days, and then for economy got pared down to one, and then was the idea, what if it was a villainous penguin, and things just and very influenced by those Hitchcock films, Ealing comedies, where there's the stranger in the spare room. It all kind of followed from there, really.
I've honestly never looked at a penguin the same since, so it is a thing. Now, I do want to ask, can we ever see like a Wallace and Gromit Chicken Run like movie or TV show? Because I love them both, and I just like cry when I watch them because it reminds me of, being a kid in England and Leeds growing up in the cold weather and tuning in on Christmas. And I know we got, feathers in the last Chicken Run, but I would love to see them somehow like come together. I don't know. I don't know what that would be, but my mind is like, it's hopeful.
How big would the chickens be compared to Wallace and
Oh, they'd
Gromit?
be small.
They'd be tiny, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they'd be like Wallace and Gromit would be the size of Mrs. Tweedy and
Yeah.
Mr. Tweedy. I mean, we've never put our characters together in the same universe, except just we've got a little of that happening.
We do have a little
We've,
cameo.
we've got a little Shaun the Sheep cameo.
But Shaun the Sheep does come from Wallace and Gromit.
He does.
Technically.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. So we try to keep them separate, really.
There's no plans for a Chicken Run Wallace and Gromit hybrid at the moment, though.
Yeah.
We can put it in the air. So I do want to ask for each of you, what has been the most memorable moment throughout Wallace and Gromit history?
For a moment, oh boy, There have been all sorts of, even outside of the films, there have been all sorts, haven't there? The
And getting lost in New York.
Got Lost in New York. The stamps.
They're quite a big moment in
Yeah.
British cultural kind of.
Yeah. There's a statue of Wallace Gromit in my hometown of Preston in Lancashire. That was a big event.
It's kind of, because they've sort of become ingrained in British culture, there's kind of almost too many big things that have happened along the way.
Yeah.
But the one that stands out
Yeah.
for me is when you won the Oscar with Wrong Trousers, really. That
Yeah.
kind of, I know you had a nomination with Rand Out, but for me that was when I wasn't involved back then. But to me that stands out as the thing that really put
Yeah.
Wallace and Gromit on the map.
Yeah. And Wrong Trousers was I don't know how it happened, but it was one of those films that's gone down in history as one the best one sort of thing in many people's minds. And I think there was just a magic sort of lining up of ideas that happened that somehow made them what it was.
Could be here all day because when I first saw the pictures at the Netflix animation thing, it just reminded me of home immediately, and because I haven't gone home in so long, so I was like, oh, like this is really exciting. So thank you both for speaking to me, and if we can put that Chicken Run Wallace and Gromit thing in the air.
Yes, we'll make a note of that.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you.
Have a lovely holiday. Bye.
Thank you.